First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been on you. The way that things have been on you. Second thing second, don't you tell me what you think that I could be. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my seal. The master of my seal. I was broken from a young age, looking myself into the masses, writing my poems for the few that look at me, took me, shook me, feeling me, singing from heartache, from the pain, taking my message, from the pain, teaching my lesson, from the brain, seeing the beauty through the pain. You made me a believer, believer. You break me down, you made me a believer, believer.
Pain. Alright, Buenos dias, mis amigos. Alright, let me know if that was too loud. I feel like that was too loud. I had the volume all the way up. I don't know why. If it was too loud, leave a complaint. And I'll try to do better next time. Alright, so I reckon, I don't know what to talk about, but I reckon I want to talk a little bit about the two witnesses that we read about in the book of Revelation. Okay. So it's interesting to me because this is another tool that we can use to figure out who the false prophets are in the world today. Now, of course, I'm going to tell you that every single pastor in every single church in every single community all around the world, they are all provably false prophets. Now, Jesus says, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And if the Son of Man make you free, then ye shall be free indeed," right? So Jesus says, "The Spirit of truth whom I will send in my name, he will guide you into all truth and show you things to come." Now, Reverend Smitty's, he's going to say, "Well, we don't know the truth. It's just whatever you want to believe." They don't know the truth. They don't care about the truth. See, they that worship God, okay, God is a spirit, and they that worship Him must worship Him in spirit and in truth. Right? So, you want to poo-poo that? You want to say, "Oh, we don't know the truth." And the truth, some people say this and some people say that, and I'm not going to give you my opinion. I'm just going to offer you different viewpoints because I don't know. You ought to know, and especially if you're a preacher, and especially if you're putting on this garment of excellence. You know, you're pretending, "Well, when I was a 19-year-old snot-nosed pervert, I went to Bible college and I got me a master's in BS." So you got all the inside information. You got all the schooling. You got all the expertise. You got special manuscripts. You got access to all the secrets of God. Well, then you ought to know. There shouldn't be anything. What did you go to school for if you don't know? What was the point of all that if you don't know? You ought to know. The Bible's not written in vain. It's not like, well, here's some things and you just read whatever and just think whatever and believe whatever. No. No, no, no. No, that's that's for the unsaved. The unsaved are just like, well, it's just whatever. I don't know. That's the mentality of the unsaved. Those of us that are chosen of God, we know. We ought to know. There's no reason for us not to know. Ye shall know the truth. Now, you believe Jesus or don't you? Now, think about this. Can you manufacture God's people? Can you manufacture them? It's a great question. Because isn't that exactly what's happening in the world, and something that's been happening for a long, long time? Where these parents, they send their kids to Bible college, and they get the, pieces of paper, certification, graduation. They get their masters and all that stuff. So does that mean they're chosen of God? Does that mean they're one of God's people because their parents sent them to Bible college when they were teenaged, snot-nosed pervert? Is that how you manufacture God's people? No. No, 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 no. No. No, that's the problem. That's the world that we're in right now. And all these kids growing up. They all grown up. They're old men now. Well, this has been going on for a lot longer than before this old feller was born. Been going on for years and years and years. And now it's gotten so bad. It's gotten so bad. I wonder, are there more than a dozen people in the world today saved? It's a legitimate question. Because when Jesus comes in the clouds of heaven, will anybody be alive and saved? Nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes, shall he find faith on the earth? Consider Matthew 24, except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. Why doesn't Reverend Schmitty teach this? That in the last day there's only going to be a handful of people saved. In the days of Noah there was only 8 souls saved. In the days of Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities round about, there wasn't even 10 righteous. God killed them all. So think about it, man. Think about it. Why else would God put an end to this world? Except he realizes we've gotten to a point where nobody else is going to get saved. So let's shut her down, boys. We're going to shut this place down. There ain't nobody else getting saved. There's no other reason for God to put an end to this world. No other reason. It wouldn't be right for God to put an end to this world. If there was the opportunity for many more people, if God knew, well, these people are going to get saved, but we're going to shut her down before they get saved. Before they're born of the Spirit of God. We're going to shut her down. Sorry, Charlie. If we went another 10 more minutes, then y'all would have been saved. But I'm shutting her down. I'm tired of this. Waiting. No. That's not a rational thought. That's not right. No, it's going to be apparent to God that nobody else is getting saved. And therefore, all these people, all 2 billion so-called Christians, are phonies. 2 billion Christians in the world today are phonies. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? Then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. See, they don't know God. God doesn't know them. They honor him with their lips, but their heart is far from him. That's the world that we're in right now. Imagine what can you do if you wanted to be the head preacher man at your local community church. What would you have to do? What would you have to do? You have to go to Bible college, get yourself a piece of paper. Just like the 19-year-old snot-nosed pervert, you got to sit next to him while he's drooling on his homework. You can't even lean over and copy his answers because he's got so much drool all over his desk and his papers. That's where you got to go in order to be a man of God. Is that right? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all. Okay. So, that I want to set up that premise. It's important, just in case there's, somebody might watch. You never know. And if you not watched before, this is an important foundation for the truth, for what I teach. And I want to give you an example here. In Matthew 7, Jesus says, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. They come to and look like they're one of us, but they're not one of us. Right? And he says, ye shall know them by their fruits. What he means is by the things that they teach. See, if they teach evil, then they can't be good. And these men, they all teach evil, and we can prove it by their own words. By their own words. So let's give an example with this fella here. Alright, we're going to go just look at this word 70. Okay, so which one? I didn't realize he mentioned it twice here. Okay, here, let's do the first one here.
Temple in Jerusalem. If that's the case, it'll need to be rebuilt at some point. Because the temple in Jerusalem was completely desecrated and destroyed in AD 70.
That's incorrect. Let's listen to the other. What's going on here? Hold on a second. I thought that was... Okay, so he's talking about Daniel's 70 week. Daniel wanted interpretation of the 70 years, but the angel said not 70 weeks. Here's the vision. Consider the vision. Okay.
Of the temple, which, as I mentioned, happened in AD 70.
All right, so hold on. Let me go back.
They speak of the coming of the Messiah who will bring an end to the sins of his people. They talk about the destruction of the temple, which, as I mentioned, happened in AD 70.
Now, unless Jesus was crucified in 70 AD, that's not true. Now, obviously, we know that he's not talking about Jesus. No, he's talking about Herod's temple. All right, and because he don't know. Heck, he went to Bible college for 4 years. He had two intentions while he went to Bible college. One is to get a piece of paper, and the other is to get a piece of to find himself a girlfriend. Right? That's all. That's all he cared. He don't care about nothing else. I mean, you look at him. Where's he at? There he is. He downloaded a script from the internet. Now he's just reading a script. He don't even know nothing he's saying. That's not even his sermon that he's preaching. These guys are phony. I could have done that. Yeah, I got a 12-year-old nephew. He could do the same thing. Probably better. Well, he's not really a nephew. He's my cousin's kid. He might be 13. Who cares? I mean, anybody could do this. My cat, well, no, my cat can't. Probably couldn't do it. But I mean, little kids could do this. Satan worshipers could do the same thing that he's doing. But what do you go to school for? So, to learn how to download sermons from the internet? I mean, what was the purpose of going to school if you don't know and understand the sermons that you preach? That's odd. But that alone wouldn't be enough to prove by his own words that he's a false prophet. What we can do, number one, you know what? Where am I at here? Let me try this again. Number one, let's go to John chapter 2. John chapter 2. Jesus says to the Jubies, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. And the Jubies said, well, 46 years we've been building this sucker. You're going to tear it down in 3 days? See, they didn't understand what he's talking about. These guys, they don't understand either. It's a spiritual phenomenon. You think, oh, what they did, they destroyed the temple in 70 AD. You big time, what the heck? How could you be so blind? Well, Reverend Smitty's grandpa used to teach this. What's the Bible say? Doesn't anybody care what the Bible says? Don't you have any fear of God? You think it's okay to be wrong? What in your life has ever made you think it's okay to be wrong? If it was okay to be wrong, Jesus would not have died. He would not have suffered death. It's not okay to be wrong. Ever. And why would you even want to be wrong? Aren't you tired of being wrong? Don't you want to know what's right? Don't you want to know the truth? Come on, man. But he spake of the temple of his body. All right, now let's go back. Well, yeah, but that's different. That's different than what the Goo. Oh, that's different than Daniel 9? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm having a conversation with myself here. But this, when these guys that want to go, and they talk about the destruction of the temple and 70 AD, well, they're talking about Daniel chapter 9. I showed earlier he brings up the 70 weeks. The visions are given him over a 70-year period, while he's there in the span of time that he's shown, that is revealed to him by God, about him going to happen in these very pictorial ways. Starts from his time, the 600 BC, and goes right up to Jesus' return. So you can see why I'm not going to try and talk about all that, right? It's a big period of time of history through our future as well. Those visions speak of the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem under Nehemiah, or I don't even know, what is that, Nehemiah? They speak of the coming of the Messiah who will bring an end to the sins of his people. They talk about the destruction of the temple, which, as I mentioned, happened in 70 AD. See, that's incredible, man. It's incredible. You went to Bible college. You've been preaching behind the podium there for what, 40 years? 50? You're an old man, for crying out loud, and you still don't know? You got no excuse, man. It's like you never even gotten this far in the Bible yet. I mean, but this is how we know that these guys are false prophets. Not because he's reading from a sermon he downloaded from the internet, but because of the things that are coming out of his mouth. From the heart he is blind. Even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. They are spiritually blind. That's how we know who the false prophets are. In Daniel chapter 9, the angel says, Gabriel says, why do I want to be careful with how I say angel? That's why. That's the only reason why. Gabriel says, and Gabriel says to Daniel, consider the vision. Consider the vision. So let's consider it. 70 weeks. 70 weeks. Consider 70 weeks. Consider the vision. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon thy holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins. Are you paying attention? Hello, McFly. Anybody home? Come on, wake up, man. Wake up. To make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Wow. How do you read that and not think, well, Jesus did that? How do you, it happened in 70 AD? What in the world happened to your brain? Well, it's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing. It's a phenomenon. It really is. There's a difference between us and them. A clear and distinct difference. We know the difference between us and them, but they don't know. Because they have a veil upon their heart. They're spiritually blind. See, Jesus is the one that finished the transgression. He's the one that made an end of sins. He's the one that makes reconciliation for iniquity. He's the one that brings in everlasting righteousness. He's the one that is the most holy. Know therefore and understand from that. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times. Who's the Messiah? Yeah, it's Jesus. So we see the street shall be built again, the wall, and the wall, even in troublous times. Now think about this. The street shall be built again. What did Jesus do? Just nothing? He just kind of farted around for a few years and then he died? The street shall be built again. The street shall be built again. The street shall be built again. Jesus said unto him, I am the street. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes down this street but by me. No man comes to the Father but by me. He has built the street. Now, think about it, man. For crying out loud. Now, it's talking about a different street. It's talking about a different street. Let's see if we can. Okay. Talking about a different street. Let's see. Matthew 9. Before, as the hypocrites do in the synagogue and in the streets. Is that the street that Daniel's talking? That Gabriel's vision to Daniel? Is that the street? No. Well, what about here? Not in the corners of the streets that they may be. Is that the street? No. So your claim is, well, Daniel talks about this street that will be rebuilt, but it's not mentioned anywhere at all in the New Testament, right? They receive you not go your ways out into the streets. Is that no? Taught in the streets? No. Quickly into the streets? No. Streets? No. Streets? No. The Lord said, arise and go into the street which is called Straight. Is that the street? Well, you can almost. No, you can't. No, that's not it. Oh, it passed on through one street. There, right there, the dead bodies lie in the street. Is that the street? No. So you're saying, well, this was mentioned in Daniel's prophecy. Now, come on. And the street will be built. The street shall be built again. Wait a minute. That was in 70 AD. 70 AD. That was it. That was in 70 AD. So why isn't it mentioned in the New Testament? I mean, wow. What kind of... You throw that elephant out there and then it disappears? That's a magic trick, isn't it? You can't make the connection? Well, there's probably a reason for it. Probably is. There is, absolutely. Remember, somewhere Jesus said, come and follow me. Huh? Come and follow me. Jesus says, I am the way. There shouldn't be any doubt about it. The wall? The wall? See, again, in John chapter 2, in John chapter 2, Jesus is talking about the body. Know ye not that your body is the temple? Now, Jesus destroyed the temple. He destroyed the wall in troublous times in this world. In this world, okay? In this world. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, so in Matthew 24, all right? Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the to show him the buildings of the temple. I apologize. Now don't lose fact, but don't lose sight, I should say, that Jesus speaks of the temple of his body. See, the Jubies here, they didn't understand it. They didn't understand it. So, Jesus is trying to teach this, right? Or maybe I should say Jesus is teaching this. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Talking about the buildings of the temple. Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So he's obviously talking about the end of this world. But the spiritually blind, they're going to say, no, it can't, it's got to be something else, because they can't see it. And they say, well, that happened in 70 AD, right? And except, well, in 70 AD, not every stone was knocked down. Well, yeah, but it was destroyed, and that's the essence of it. That's the essence of it. Well, that's not what Jesus says. You're effectively, well, Jesus, he wasn't very smart. He kind of ignorant. He didn't know. Well, he didn't. How could he know? I mean, this happened after he died. He's kind of ignorant. He didn't know. He kind of exaggerated a little bit. He didn't really mean what he said. Is that the position you're taking? That Jesus didn't really mean it? He's just giving the essence of, he speaks vaguely, you know. Is that really your view of God? Boy, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. What can I do? Put you in a headlock, make you see? Put you in a headlock and say, hey, look, put these glasses on, you son of a biscuit. Right? I mean, will that work? It worked in a Hollywood movie that I was watching, but I don't think it'll work in real life. Number one, you're a lot tougher than I am. You punch me in the nose and kick me to the curb, and that'll be that, right? I mean, you're pretty tough, right? Just one little bop in the nose, and that's it. Changing the conversation. But no, seriously. You think he's lying? I mean, that's to me. If you say this happened in 70 AD, and then you turn around and say, well, not every stone was knocked down. There shall not be left here one stone upon another. And then you say, well, yeah, but he didn't mean it exactly. I just say Jesus lied. Just be honest. And say that's not true. Jesus was ignorant. Just be honest. That's what you believe. From my perspective, you're making Jesus out to be a liar. And I have to choose, is Jesus a liar or are you a liar? I'm going to bank on the fact that you're a liar. I'm putting all my money on that side. You're the liar. Jesus ain't lying. And you know why? I mean, not just because Jesus said it. I mean, he said it and I believe it. Okay, period. That's enough. But you know what's interesting now? Right after he says, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down, as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? And of the end of the world. Now, notice here, I mean, are you paying attention? Hello? Anybody paying attention? Let me go through this again. The very first two verses. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said, see not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. That shall not be thrown down. So they knew that he was talking about the end of this world. They knew it. That's why they asked him, tell us about the end of the world. So when Jesus says, not one stone shall be left upon another, they knew it and Jesus understood it. They knew this is about the end of the world. Wow. About the 70 AD. Wow. That's incredibly mind-blowing. It is, man. Well, Reverend Schmitty explained it, and I believe him because he's so smart, and he's got that cologne that smells real good. I just like him. I love him. I just love Reverend Schmitty. He puts his hands all over me, and I just love it. He's such a warm, gentle soul. He's got the smell good cologne and the soft touch. Right? He's got the slow hand, right? He's got the easy touch, right? I mean, come on, man. I just love Reverend Smitty. Did love him. He got the slow hand.
Most people know Brad.
Whoa, wait a second.
As the midnight moon was drifting through the lazy sway of the tree, I saw the look in your eyes, looking into the night, not seeing what you wanted to see. Darling, don't say a word, I've already heard what your body's saying to mine. You got a fast move, you got a slow groove on your mind. You want a man with a slow hand, you want a lover with an easy touch. You want somebody who will spend some time, not come and go in a heated rush. Baby, believe me, I understand. When it comes to love, you want a slow hand.
You want a man with an easy touch, right? Reverend Schmitty. He's got the smell good cologne. He's got the greased back hair. And he got hands that won't stop, right? So you just love him. Oh, I just love Reverend Schmitty. Just love him. Well, who do you love more? Because what if they don't agree? What if Reverend Schmitty don't agree with Jesus? Who are you going to side with? Huh? Because maybe Jesus, maybe he don't wear that midnight passion cologne. Maybe he just wears Brute. Maybe he don't grease his hair back like Reverend Schmitty. Maybe he don't. Maybe he's not the pervert that Reverend Schmitty is. Huh? Are you still gonna side with Reverend Schmitty? Now think about that. Now seriously. They knew that Jesus was talking about the end of the world. And when the end of the world comes, every stone is going to be knocked down. Every stone is going to be knocked down. This is not a standalone verse, right? Valley, let's see, Valley, Hill, I don't remember now. Valley, you don't bring a valley down low, do you? Every valley shall be filled, and every mountain and hill shall be brought low. Now hold on a second. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. There it is. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. Every valley shall be filled, every mountain and hill shall be brought low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough ways shall be made smooth. Well, so if you put 2 and 2 together, you can see, well, this is going to happen at the end of this world, when Jesus comes in the clouds of heaven, and there's going to be a new earth. So, knowing that, and then thinking about this, the temples or the buildings or whatever, the stones that comprise of the building, the stones are all going to be knocked down. All right, so if every mountain and hill shall be made low, well, isn't it just common sense? I mean, just simple, easy to see that, hey, every stone's going to be knocked down. Because that sure as HE double hockey sticks did not happen in 70 AD. You know it. I don't care. You preach this stuff, you know it didn't happen in 70 AD. If you preach 70 AD anything, you know not every stone was knocked down. Nobody says every stone was knocked down. Nobody does. They can't. Because obviously it was not. It didn't happen. I mean, just, oh my goodness gracious. Alright, I gotta wrap it up. I don't know if I'm going to get a good picture here. See, it's a distance picture there. And it's not a really good picture here. I mean, we could really break this down. See right there. Those stones were not knocked down. If there's just one stone here. I don't know what these people are doing. For crying out loud. See, take this stone right here. That stone was not knocked down in 70 AD, and you know it. So you're faced with a dilemma. Was Jesus lying when he said, there shall not be left here one stone upon another? Because I'm telling you, if he was referring to 70 AD, then he's a liar. And you know it. But he's not a liar. And I know it. That stone is still there. That stone is still there. So he can't be referring to 70 AD. What's the matter with you? Oh my goodness gracious. What's the matter with me? Knowing this last. No, wait a second. What's that say? Knowing this first. Oh. Huh. Well, let's know this first then. That no prophecy of the Scripture is of any private interpretation. So why do you go to Bible college? You go to Bible college to learn that Jesus is a liar? Is that? Or do you go to Bible college to learn how to put a prophylactic on a banana? What's going on here? What's the point of going to Bible college and you still don't understand nothing? That stone right there. Can you see that? Blow this up to 500. See that stone? That one that this guy's trying to lick? Or I don't know what he's doing. Honest to God, I don't think I want to know what this guy's doing here. He's probably looking at his phone. Pretending to be doing whatever these guys are doing. He's probably wondering, what the hell are these guys doing? Right? And this guy's watching them. He's probably sitting there trying to figure out, what the hell are these guys doing here? They trying to get to the other side or something? Hey, fellas, try going around. And this guy right here, you know he's looking at his phone. Probably texting his girlfriend. Or maybe his boyfriend, who knows. This stone right here, still there. It didn't get knocked down. It didn't get knocked. So I don't want to make a big deal of, well, when did it start? When did they rebuild on this and that? And it doesn't matter. So long as this stone is still there, then Matthew 24 verse 2 hasn't happened yet. But you know it's going to happen. You know it. The day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. See, everything is going to dissolve, man. The disciples knew he's talking about the end of the world. Jesus knew that they knew and understood that he's talking about the end of the world. And so they asked him about the end of the world. And what's the very first thing he says? Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name. They'll come in the name of Jesus, saying that Jesus is the Christ, and shall deceive many. Now you say, Jesus is the Christ, right? You come in the name of Jesus, right? Now you're going to turn around and say, no, yeah, but 70 AD. The very first thing Jesus says in regards to what was said here in verse 2. Jesus says, there shall not be left here one stone upon another. And the very next thing he says, take heed that no man deceive you. And so, but you, the very first thing that you say is, well, that would have happened in 70 AD. The very first thing you say, well, that happened in 70 AD. The very first thing you say is a lie. There shall not be left here one stone upon another. What are we about that? He wasn't talking about that stone. He's talking about stones way up on the top that are going to fall down. And so how you do that is here's how you do that. See, here's how you do that. So you take this right there, and you go to the Greeks and the Hebrews, and you switch and flip and twirl it all around, and then you come back and it says, oh, there are going to be a couple of stones on the top of the building. That's what it says in the foreign languages. That's what it says in my favorite foreign language. That's what that's what the Bible says. It doesn't say one stone. It doesn't say not one stone. It's just talking. You go back to the Greeks and the Hebrews, and it says the opposite of what you read here. Right? The serpent in the Garden of Eden says, "Yeah, has God said one stone? Yeah, has God said not one stone shall be upon another? Huh? Yeah, has God said you should not eat of the tree of the garden? Well, God said, if you eat it, you're going to die. And the serpent said, well, you go back to the Greeks and the Hebrews, and you shall not. Surely, it says the opposite. Well, you got to go back to the Greeks and you went to Bible college, so you must know what you're talking about. Huh? Right? Yeah, as God said, there shall not be left here one stone upon another. And the serpent comes in and says, blah, 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 goo goo. And you believe it. Because what, Reverend? Because the Reverend Schmitty went to Bible college when he was a 19-year-old snot. He got snot all up and down his shirt, on his sleeves. He wipes the snot on his sleeves, and then he holds out his hand to shake your hand, right? Good God Almighty. 19-year-old snot-nosed pervert telling you. Why? Why would you put yourself in that position? To not trust God and to trust man instead. We need not that any man teach us. So we got the Spirit of truth, the Spirit of God dwells in us, and the Spirit of truth guides us to all truth. You need not that any man teach you. Trust God. Alright, I gotta go. It's enough yapping. That's enough yapping. Hopefully I made my point here. Hopefully somebody sees it here in Daniel 9. Talking about Jesus. Jesus is the one that makes an end of sin. He's the one that caused the sacrifice and oblation to cease when he laid down his life. Right? He did that. The 70 weeks were fulfilled upon his death. And the consummation is when he comes in the clouds of heaven. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go and prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. And that determined is the wrath of God being poured upon the unsaved, the desolate, those without the Spirit of God. And this all stems from Genesis 3, when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The Lord said unto the serpent, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Right? God is going to stomp his foot on the head of the serpent, destroying all evil forever. That's what we're putting our hope into. That's what we, that are God's chosen people, that's what we're putting our hope into. A world where there's only good, no evil. Where evil has been eliminated forever. That's what we're putting our hope into. That's why we realize we need a Savior. Because we're not going to make it on our own, obviously. Obviously, we need God to save us. Obviously, right? And so when this happens, when all evil is eliminated forever, That's when we're changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. We're going to put on immortality. We're going to put on incorruption. And then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. There is no more death. That's it. So we're changed, and the unsaved are left here on this earth. And then fire comes down from God and devours them. That fire is going to be something else, because it's not just going to kill all the unsaved. It's going to cause them to die the second death, but it's also going to transform this earth and give us a new earth. Right? Notice, okay, I gotta go. Let me just make one point and I'll finish her. I'll say goodbye. One more point. Notice here in Revelation 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. The first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Now think about how much fire it would require to burn up all the waters all around the world. It's going to zap up all the water. It's going to get hot. I mean, you thought it was hot a couple of weeks ago. That ain't nothing. I jokingly said, man, it's about 3 degrees cooler than the bottomless pits of hell. Obviously, I was kidding. Because when the fire of God comes, it's going to get hot. Hot. It's going to get hot. It's going to zap up all the vapors. It's going to be something. And buddy, I'm telling you, you're not going to survive it. Ain't nobody that's not saved is going to survive it. Nobody that is not lifted up and changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. Nobody that is not changed is going to survive it. Therefore, there is no bonus 1,000 years. There is no, well, you get another chance here, fellas. There's no 1,000 years of peace. Those of us that believe in God, those of us that believe God, we're not putting our hope into 1,000 years of peace. We're putting our hope in everlasting life. That take that 1,000 years and flush it down the toilet along with the other turds. I don't want it. The day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Man, ain't nobody surviving that. The day of the Lord is when Jesus comes in the clouds of heaven. Now, what is he, ignorant? You went to Bible college and you still don't get it? Well, there's a reason for it. And I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with all the liars, all the deceivers. Lying to you, my friends. Lying to my family. Lying to the little children. Lying to everybody. And people are believing it, and it's got me fired up.
Oh, let the bullets fly, oh, let them rain. My love, my child, it came from pain. You made me a believer. Good things stood, send a prayer to the ones up above. All the hate that you put has turned your spirit to a dove. Oh, ooh, your spirit up above. Oh, ooh. I was choking in the crowd, building my rain up in the cloud, falling like ashes to the ground, hoping my feelings they would drown. But they never did ever live, ebbing and flowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke open and rained down. It rained down like.
You make me a believer, believer. You break me down, you build me up, believer, believer.
Oh, let the bullets fly, oh, let them rain. My life, my love, my job, it came from.
You make me a believer, believer.
Last things last by the grace of the fire and the flames. You're the face of the future, the blood in my veins. Oh, ooh, the blood in my veins. Oh, ooh. But they never did ever live, evident, blowing, inhibited, limited, till it broke open and rained down. It rained down like.
You make me a believer, believer. You break me down, you build me up, believer, believer.
Oh, let the bullets fly, oh, let them rain. My life, my love, my job, it came from.